The last video I did a massage targeted the back muscles, the gluteus muscles, and the leg muscles. Today I want to go in a little bit deeper and actually get towards that pelvic floor. Let's get to that. Hello there, I'm Dr. Chung, and I'm your friendly proctologist and masseuse therapist for today. I really enjoy giving back to you guys and sharing what I personally do for my pelvic mobility, flexibility, and wellness. I hope you get a lot out of it. And in doing so, I hope that you guys will subscribe to the channel. There's only about 10% of the viewers that are actually subscribed, so please consider helping to further this community. Let's help each other out and let's grow together. There's also a lot of great info in the description box below, including how to get in contact with me for a personal video consultation. So again, for this video, we're going to use the Theragun as our massage tool. And no, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I do appreciate their invention. This plunger at the front of the device acts like a hammer that is actually soft enough to even use on bone, but it's really terrific to access muscles or body parts deep within our body, deep within our belly, deep within our pelvis, like the pelvic floor, right? Because the pelvic floor is not on the outside or on the surface like our bicep muscle here. And we need to be able to get the therapy deep inside. So this sends shock waves through our skin, our fat tissues, and our muscle in order for the pelvic floor to vibrate and stretch and be therapized. Is that a word? Or be massaged out from long distance, which is why I really like this. You can try and touch these muscles like the pelvic floor with your hands, but oh my gosh, your hand is going to be really tired. This guy makes your job so much easier and effortless. And while we're talking about pelvic health, the blood vessels in our pelvis also need support as well. Vessol has taken their research in combining 4 all-natural ingredients with rich history and background in research to give us the most powerful anti-inflammatory agents and also to support the blood vessels in there. The ingredients are diosmin, hesperidin, collinsonia root, and horse chestnut powder. These all have powerful mechanisms in order to resist flares and help us heal faster. And that's exactly what I'm finding as I'm using this stuff right here. The power of being able to resist itching when I have flares and noticing that, gosh, they don't seem to flare up as much as they used to when I have a rough poop. You know, when I have multiple runs, like 4 or 5 bowel movement runs, it's usually stress induced for me. But now that I've been taking this, it doesn't seem to bother me as much anymore. And so I haven't had to have banding in a little while here. I'm going to need more long-term results, but what I'm seeing so far has really been very encouraging. So I appreciate Vessol sponsoring this video for today. Definitely check them out on www.vessolhealth.com. As you are massaging yourself, especially towards the pelvic floor, the anal area, your private part area, you may actually feel like you need to pee, you need to poop, like you gotta use the bathroom. And so I suggest do the number 1 and number 2 before you do this, or even as you feel the urge to. But this is another challenge also for you to relax while you are doing this massage, because the percussion, the vibration makes you feel like you gotta go. It's firing off the nerves. Maybe even some of the muscles are contracting a little bit in irritation, and that's what gives the sensation like you're gonna lose control. So take it easy on yourself. These are very sensitive areas of our bodies. Really, they're like a chamber that's locked in deep within our body. It's like our treasure chest of our body, if you will. The gluteus muscles on the outside, the bony parts of the pelvis, and then hidden in a deep secret room is your pelvic floor. So let me give you that demonstration now. Well, okay, so first of all, I need to mention, I'm sorry my face is not in frame, but I promise you, this is my body. I am the hired model for the video today. Thank you very much. So to begin, let's find our landmark. This spiny, pokey bone of our pelvis that is just lower and across from our belly button. Belly button here, going out to the side. This is our anterior spine.
Okay, and if we got the model here, literally it is this point in our bone. So if I turn it around this way, it's where it is. That's what you're touching. The muscle we're going to focus on is the iliacus muscle. It is this right here where my hand is overlying this wing of our pelvis. Iliacus is here. The muscle that's actually just next door neighbor to this, to the middle over, essentially a little bit over our spine, is called the psoas muscle. I'll get to that in a different video because I want to point out some more things about it. This iliacus is a very ignored pelvic muscle, but it has a very important function. It assists the psoas muscle in flexing our body at the hip, okay? Flexing our legs, and then if we're crunching against it, we're even squeezing it harder. We don't ever massage this. We don't really necessarily exercise this muscle as much as we should. So that's why we're gonna give it some love today. I've got a handy Theragun here, and I'm not gonna turn it on yet because I wanna show you without all the noise where I'm going. So if I've got my spine here, the muscle is lower and inside. So going down towards our middle, but also going down towards our leg. There is a ligament which divides our belly compartment above from our thigh component below. That's the inguinal ligament, which goes from this spine to the pubic bone, which mine is located right here. So from here to here, this is where our bottom border is. This is our upper border at the spine, and this triangle here, this is where the iliacus is hanging out. So with the Theragun, what I prefer to do is actually hold the Theragun from the outside. It gives you more leverage to push in. But if you're pushing at this angle from the outside in, the iliacus is missed. It's actually pointing this way, right? So if we have our model again, if I'm pushing from the outside, I'm gonna miss that bone completely. It's gonna go right towards the spine. What you wanna do is actually angle it inwards. That way, I'm sure this is very tough to show you. Angle it inwards so that you can hit the spine directly head on, perpendicular. So what that looks like on my body is I'm gonna have it facing the pelvic wing and then turn the Theragun inwards. Now you see, I hope you can, where this gun is going. So I'm gonna be pushing with two hands here this way, inwards. And that's gonna really massage this guy out. And so we wanna be able to massage the entire surface of this wing, literally all the way back as far as you can and towards the front as well too, and try and hit this entire surface with my finger here. So now we're going to turn on the Theragun here so I can show you exactly what I'm doing. So we've got the guns just head on straight, and I can feel it here because the iliacus muscle, the wing, is very close. But as I go towards the center, I get farther away from it. So that's why I'm going to turn the Theragun and actually push in. Oh my gosh, I pushed in too hard, so it shut off on me. Let's try this again. Here we go. So starting in, turn it inside, don't push too hard, and I can feel it really working the outside of my hip. Oh my God. Yep. Woohoo! So now I'm hitting up to the upper abdominal part. I'm actually hitting my obliques here, actually even. And my abdominal muscles in front are also getting massaged as well. But you really have to try and concentrate on breathing. That way your belly can actually depress. And you can see how much my belly is going in right now. And I'm just going up and down here, trying to get on that wing as deep as I can. It's going to take some time to get used to, because it may actually be very sore when you get started. And so the next thing you can do is go down towards your leg as well. And also go inside in the thigh as well too. The next massage move is our pelvic floor, and it is the red set of muscles which I'm pointing to here. The pelvis is very unique.
This is the very bottom floor of our body, but there's no rib cage here. It is simply musculature. And so when we are jumping around, running, walking, the muscles here are the only thing preventing us from our intestines, our bladder, falling out and going down to the ground, right? Or even our poop and our urine. So if we were to turn this guy around, the pelvis is forward facing. Now I'm going to turn it around. This is our spine and our tailbone is right down here. So now I'm going to have the model bend over in front of us. If we see that, we have the anus with the sphincter muscles around it, but this red bowl here is the pelvic floor from underneath. And if we bend over even further, now we have the female anatomy here. These winged muscles are not the pelvic floor. It is the bowl of muscle here. It actually goes underneath, okay? These are superficial muscles, which men have a version of as well. But what we want to get, where the pain comes from with our spasms, is this bowl up here. So when we're doing our massage, it's important to point out the structures that are in the way of our Theragun. And really, it's the butt cheeks, which is overlying this entire part here. And of course, the very bottom of the butt cheek is the anus. So you really have this round, bulbous, muscular, and fat here, which is the gluteus maximus. So we have two of these, right? Two butt cheeks. And at the center of the butt cheek, we have our anus here. And what we want to do with this Theragun is actually start massaging the gluteus maximus, their butt cheek. But I like to start right where the sit bone is. The sit bone that we sit on is actually this big guy here, okay? This is what we sit on when we're on our chairs or our car seat. So I find this line to be very helpful from our back up here, and I just go in a straight line all the way to the back to our sit bone. This is usually the very highest point of our butt cheek. It's the one that pokes out the most. So that's going to be really helpful for us to make that landmark. Next from here, I'm going to slowly inch my way towards the middle of our body to the point where we get to our tailbone. Where I like to do this right along the spine. This head, I really like it because it's really soft yet firm and doesn't hurt when you pound it onto the sacrum here. And then I will get to the anus, the midline. Once I get here, then I turn this guy around again and point it upwards and inwards, which is what allows me to get into the pelvic floor here. So again, the butt cheek is here. The butt cheek is here. I go straight down to the anus, make the angle change, and then push in. And that, you see, is going to immediately access into the pelvic floor. And it's not important to hit it exactly here because many times, so for some of us, this space is actually very, very deep inside. So what we're going to depend on is that penetration and the vibration of this percussive hammer, which is going to be sending shock waves in through the tissues, through the skin, through the muscles, into the pelvic floor. And you're going to feel that. It's going to feel crazy. It's going to feel weird. It may even be you might feel some electricity here because this is an area which is very much ignored. We got my butt cheeks on either side here, okay? And if I bend over a little bit more, this is where the tip of my coccyx is, the tip of my tailbone. So the anus is actually here, okay? The front part, my taint or perineum is going to be a little bit in front of that. Where is my sit bone? My sit bone is actually right here. So what I do is I go up and down, which is really the highest part of our butt cheek here, which gives us the most padding. Makes sense. We were beautifully designed. And then I'm going to be going more in till I get to the center. And this is where I make that turn with the head. So now I'm just bending over here to show you guys, but usually I do this standing up. It actually works just fine. But to open up the pelvis, definitely bending forward is very helpful.
Even having a chair in front of you is going to be very helpful to keep your balance so you can push in with the Theragun. So here we go. We're going to start out at the top with our pelvis bone and go straight down to the sit bone. You can even take this opportunity to go straight down towards the back part of your thigh as well. And I'm just giving gentle pressure, going in a little bit more, maybe about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch each time I go up and down. And so now I'm getting closer to the middle, which is going to be the tailbone and anus. So going down a little bit further, and now you can feel that roughness on the spine. I'm at the tip of my tailbone, and I'm actually very close to the anus itself, which the anus is connected to the pelvic floor. So really, you can spend some time here and feel that the Theragun is actually vibrating your entire pelvic floor right now and massaging it in this area. But if you want to get closer to, like, massage the upper parts of the bowl, that's where I go sideways here and do that on both sides.
So I really apologize to all of you for showing my nether regions on camera. I know it's covered up with clothing, but still, your imagination, you know, you went there. We all did. Even I did. Watching this over again. But I hope that this video has helped you. Definitely, again, take it very slowly. Apply the pressure very gently. One thing you don't want to have happen is these muscles spasming and tightening down and freaking out again. You want to make this a very positive experience. It's going to be very electrifying, okay? When I first did this, the nerves were just giving me all kinds of stimulation, okay? It was, I can't even describe it, like many things in our pelvis. But again, take things slow. I encourage you guys to try it to see if you can access those much deeper muscles. And so let's give another shout out to Vessol, who've come up with this research-backed, all-natural formula. And I know based on the results I'm seeing, I'm gonna have to be on this stuff just like my multivitamin. Who doesn't want more anti-inflammatory power here? Yes, I'm eating the diet, but this stuff directly targets our blood vessels and our hemorrhoids. So toughening them up, making them more resistant, so I don't have to have doctors do bannings or surgery on my butt one day. That's what I'm gonna be using this for. Thank you very much, Vessol. Check them out at vessolhealth.com. See you next time. Bye.